It is the beginning of the working week. A beautiful morning and welcome to the Advent Cable Network Nigeria. This is Nowstreming, your favorite morning talk show where we discuss trending news and have those conversations and topics that affect our daily lives. I am Rachel Ibunu and I have with me in the studio Mr. Aregbe Shegun. He is a public commentator. Also in the studio is Mrs. Abiodu Ibimoye. She is a volunteer staff, Anglican Compassion and Development Initiative, that is ACADI, National Office. You're both welcome to the program this morning.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ma.
Thank you.
Welcome, Shegun.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be treating the topic, drug abuse and its effect on the society. Still with us in the studio are Mrs. Abiodu Ibimoye and Mr. Shegun Aregbe, who will be doing justice to the topic before us. You're welcome once again to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll go straight to the discussion, the questions before us this morning. According to World Drug Report 2021, said around 275 million people use drugs worldwide in the year. Over 36 million people suffered from drug use disorder. That is the effect of it. So in Nigeria now, around 14.3 million drug users, of which close to 3 billion suffered from a drug use disorder. So coming to our question this morning, kindly educate our viewers on what drug abuse is.
Thank you. Before we look at what the abuse is, we need to understand what a drug is. You know, a drug is that substance that's intended for diagnosis, for cure, for mitigation, and for treatment or prevention of a disease. A drug is that substance other than food that affects the function and the structure of the body. And we have, you know, we can classify drugs into two. We have the legal, and we have the illegal or the illicit drugs. So when we come to the abuse, we can say abuse is abnormal, the abnormal use. So you find that both the legal drugs and the illicit drugs are being abused. And what are the various ways that, or various forms that, you know, these drugs are being abused? For example, if you are given a drug, like we were talking before we came on air, the issue of tramadol, and maybe the issue of codeine. Or every bottle of cough syrup have inscription on it, how to use it. How to use it. Every tablet on the paper have how to use it. If you go to the clinic or the hospital or even the pharmacy, you will be given prescription. So when you use this drug, other than
the way it's prescribed,
it is an abuse.
Okay, so you've told us what drug abuse is and various forms and types of drug abuse now. So in the society now, who are the partakers, who are involved, those involved in this drug abuse?
Let me shock you.
Okay.
We are all guilty.
Okay.
Let's go from we are all guilty to the area where we have the use of illicit drug. For example, there was a day a pharmacist sat me down and educated me on the use of antibiotics. You know, when you are given an antibiotics, it will have, maybe you use it 6 hourly or 12 hourly. Even our malaria drugs, they say the first dose when you use it, then the second dose 8 hours after. Some people will start the first dose, they will never complete it.
Some will say, okay, I've taken this one. It doesn't really,
I'm feeling better now, I'm feeling better, and leave it. That is a form of abuse, because gradually your body you know, start to get, react the next time you use that drug.
Sure.
However, we find that in our society, we find in the family, you can find the father abusing the drugs. You can find mothers abusing drugs. the children, the young people. And nowadays we have an incident of drug abuse among the young people that is going up. So the whole society.
And what baffles me now is the age at which you see this young ones involving in such things. The day I saw a little boy in the north inhaling gum. This gum we use in mending our shoes, the cobblers use in mending the they call it solution there in the north. At first I was like, what is this person doing? They said he wants to get high.
Yeah.
And I looked at the little boy. How did he get there? Who did he see doing all these things and he intend following?
That's the thing. Just like you said, who did he see?
Because it starts from somewhere. He must have seen it from somebody.
In abusing of drug, you definitely somebody has introduced you to it.
Exactly.
Especially for young people who really abuse drugs, somebody has introduced them. So it's just maybe in a house party, you know, clubs, you know, and all of. So that's why it's very important, you know, where your ward and your child is going to. Say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. So it's very important who some of these people, and just like the one you're talking about in the north, that's very rampant. Yes. And one of the reasons is because if you see, a lot of them are not because they are displaced. They roam about the street. It's so easy in the north to just find a child, wake up in the morning and leave the house.
Yeah.
And you know, just nobody's asking you, where are you going to? What are you going to do? You know, so it's so easy to do that. There's this free life. So it's easy for them when you find them doing drugs. Yes, so easy.
And before the program started, you were talking about people putting, is it, what do they call it now, in their food? Cannabis in their food.
You know, you get a lot of ways that young people get involved with drugs, different ways. Even some start from the home. There was a particular incident of a young girl of age 12 in one of our secondary school in the southwest. A JS1 girl. Incidentally, an SS3 girl writing WAEC aborted, got pregnant and aborted. And it was discovered, and investigation started. And later, it was discovered that the person who gave this girl the abortion drug was a 12-year-old JS1 student.
Wow.
So the investigation went further.
How does she know such things can
JS1.
To discover that the girl's mother in the home, this is her trade. This 12-year-old girl,
So
the
she
mother
sees
deals
her.
in, drug abuse. So the girl learnt the ropes from the mother and was able to introduce it in school. So you find even from the home, the children learn how to abuse drug. If the father is abusing drug, the children will learn from the father. Then when they get to school, the school is an open field.
Sure.
Both the primary school now, we get as low as the primary school, pupils being introduced to drugs. The secondary school, then the tertiary institution is a field day for you. Like we were saying, when there is a class party, for example, or a hostel party, and everybody brings money, the girls go to buy the food, the guys go to buy the drinks. And the story I was telling you before we came on set, they were cooking, and at a point when it was time to add the condiments, the Maggi, the spices, this thing was brought, and the girl said, please wait, what are you adding? They looked at her and said, it's normal thing. No, don't add this. This is cannabis. So yes,
thank God she saw it.
She saw it.
She's able to
So they said, okay, because I contributed to this, let me take my part. And that helped her to know that the next hostel party she must not take part. In fact, it was also reported that that particular party, the people who took the drinks. For the first time, they slept well.
Skip classes.
Quote and unquote. Meaning that some things were added to the drinks that they took. So from there, you find recruitment. And once you use it for the first time, for the second time, you get addicted on it. And it becomes a problem.
Sure. Okay, viewers, please do call in, share your thoughts on the topic we're discussing this morning, drug abuse and its effect on the society. Next, what are the effects of drug abuse on the society?
Yeah. Like I said, everything starts from the home. We have dysfunctional family. The family, for example, if it is the father that is abusing drugs, you can imagine there will definitely be wife battery.
Sure.
The children will not be able to move close to the father. Most of the funds in the home will be channeled towards sustaining this habit. And the family can get family breakdown. If it is the child that is on drugs, the parents are not at rest. We have seen issues where even children schooling abroad have flown back home
because of involvement in substance.
And they cannot maintain that, they cannot be steady in school. So you find that there will be problem in school, in the home.
Yeah.
Then the economy, because these drugs they are not cheap. Like we were reading during the other
Headlines,
segments.
yes.
They are not cheap. So you find that a lot is going wrong in the economy. A lot of money is going to the wrong place. And in all, there is societal deterioration, crime.
Sure.
This Boko Haram, insurgency, Fulani headsmen.
Most of them, before they go for their operations, they will have to take some substance.
So that they can be high. Recently, I heard the news of a lady who wanted to go into cult, and she wanted to be the head
of the fraternity.
And to qualify, she must have to sleep with maybe over 20 men. She cannot do this
with a clear
yeah. Sure. So she really went high. And by the time she woke up the next day, they congratulated her that. And she could not remember anything. So can you see that the mental health is zero? She cannot remember anything. So it affects every structure of the family, of the society. From the family to the school to the economy to the social sphere. It is a thing that we see going down the drain, and this is the time for us to act,
to wake up.
I mean, it's just like she has rightly said.
The whole thing and the story she's just telling me is just
it can be marveling. Now, even if you check right now, one of the rampant thing we have among the youths now is this hunger to make it very quickly in life, and they dabble into
so many things, dirty things.
Yes, and then at the end of the day, go and check. When they have this money, what do they do with it?
They don't use it for anything useful.
So you just see them partying, and in most of their parties, all you see them do is drug. Yes, just like you were asking that, what are the people doing drugs? Like she said everybody. There are a lot of people that you see who are successful in life. They do drugs. It will baffle you that somebody was telling me about some certain people who I know who do drugs. I was if you had told me I wouldn't, because if you see them, you won't believe that they do drugs. Do you get the point? And it will not only affect the person doing the drug, it will affect the family.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, just check some of the people you see on the road who are mad. That's why I tell people, say somebody is mad, you say it's his family. It's not just the family.
Some of them you go trace to the root cause of it.
Some of them is drug, some of them is drug abuse and the rest of that. And some people who you see will end up having some sicknesses like loss of memory, and go and check very well. Some of them, when they were much younger, they were abusing drugs and the rest of that. And so you see, it's just beyond you know, we talking, and there should be more of deliberate effort, awareness, more awareness, not just to society, even in the families. I can remember very quickly while I was growing, when we wake up in the morning and we have morning devotions and all of that. My mother sounds a lot of things to our ears, and she would give you examples. Look at that person's life. Look at this person's life. See this. If you do this, this is the repercussion. If you do this, this is. So it's not just to say, make people know that there are consequences for what they do. You know, so it will really help us because drug abuse is going outrageous in society.
Yes. And before we continue with the questions before us, have you come across anybody who has gotten himself involved in this drug abuse thing, and how have you been able to come to help with your involvement in this?
Let me tell you this short story that happened. It's a bit like over 5-6 years back.
Okay.
I went visiting a family, and in the morning, I was told that maybe the gardener or so will come around. I should not mind.
Okay.
And really around 10, I heard some movement at the back of my window. So the curious cat in me said, let me just peep to see that it's the gardener. But what I saw shocked me. I saw their son smoking.
Oh.
And it is a Christian family. In fact, I just froze where I was. So after that, after I was able to regain myself, I looked for a time that I could apprehend this boy. And so later in the evening, when I saw him, I just pulled him into the room and I confronted him. I saw you this morning.
You couldn't deny it.
I didn't beat about the bush, no. I saw you this morning at the back of the window. You were smoking. He was just, because he was a good boy. In Christian home. So I said, who introduced you? Your dad? He said, no. Your mom? No. Who? I said, my friends. So I started counseling and counseling and counseling him. But I didn't stop there. In fact, it took me 2 days to be able to open up to the parents, because they were Christians and they trained them well.
How will they believe you?
Yes.
How will they take it?
So after some time, I was able to tell the mother. The mother said yes, that she has been suspecting, but she was not able to confront him or catch him. She has not even caught him at all. So it is very important that we'll be talking on how we are going to be dealing with this thing. And for others who have really gone into this drug abuse, there is referral opportunity to refer them to hospitals and medical institutions that will rehabilitate.
Okay, we are coming to that now. Let's talk about ACADI and their duty. That is the Anglican Compassion and Development Initiative. Tell us about.
Okay. The Anglican Compassion and Development Initiative, ACADI, is the body or the organization that was set up sometime last year by His Grace, our Father, the Primate, His Grace, Right Reverend Henry Ndukuba, because of the rise in this menace and how the young people were going in and into all this. So we needed an organization that would look into various social ills and be able to make an impact. So the very first project that ACADI is handling is this war against drug and substance abuse. So we are going, there's so many things. Let me just talk about we have this thing we call the 3x5 strategy in how we want to win this war, because it's a war. It's a war we are fighting.
In eradicating
in eradicating drug abuse. And we are looking at some strategic fronts. We have spoken about the family. It is a front. We are looking at our educational front. We are going to be going to schools to teach and train the teachers, the pupils and the prefects, who will in turn step down. So we are looking at the family, the educational front. We are looking at the economy. We are looking at how we can empower some of these young people or some of these single mothers, because drug abuse and poverty are related. And we are also looking at the community, because some of these young people are not in school, they're out of school. So we'll also be going to the community. That is in one front. Then we are also going to take a strategic approach, intercessory prayer. We are a faith-based organization. So prayer is our bedrock. So we are going to be employing prayers. We are going to be employing evangelism and discipleship. For that boy that I was able to counsel, I was able to hand him over to his mother. So when we get...
Take it up from there.
Yes, must take, because you can't just win them and leave them. They will go back.
Sure.
You know, that story in the Bible that says, if you come to a place and you drive out the evil spirit, the 7 come if the place is not occupied. So we are going to be looking at the economic front. We are going to be doing a lot of awareness and mobilization. We are also going to be networking with other organizations like the NDLEA, like NAFDAC, and other Christian organizations. And also, specifically, we'll be targeting the family, the youth, our churches, our parishes, our dioceses, our community leaders, our educational institution. So we're going to be training. We've already started the training. We've started with some dioceses. About 35 dioceses have gone through the first set of training.
So Abuja here is the headquarters.
Is the headquarters. So we have other dioceses in the Church of Nigeria who have faith-based organization or NGOs. So we are partnering with them. The first thing that we have asked them to do is that give us a focal person from your diocese. And we are still talking to so many other dioceses. Give us a focal person. We will train that focal person. The focal person will now go back to the dioceses and train others in the various, across the men's fellowship, the women's fellowship, the youth fellowship, the children ministry, the teens ministry, the youth ministry. And you know, that ripple effect will continue to go down then to the community. So
far the initiative now, what can you say it has impacted the success recorded so far?
We started We started in September. But I want to tell you that we are already recording success. We're talking about it today is a success. We are already talking to teachers, students. We're already talking to our fathers in our various parishes and telling them that they will be champions. We're going to be meeting with the mothers at the end of this week to train them on how they can detect, like I was able to detect from, you know, the mother was telling that she has been noticing but she couldn't. So we're going to be telling our mothers how you can notice the slightest abuse in your home. So,
okay, let me throw this question to you. What can the church do in helping to eradicate drug abuse in the society? This is an initiative. So now we're talking about the church. We know that is also part of the church. We are coming down, narrowing it to our churches now, our church. How can they help?
I love this question because if I will tell you the truth, even in the church, you find young people who, some of them, maybe some of these guys who beat drums before they go into the church to go, and you just see them take something behind. I actually went for a program somewhere.
We have this, sorry to cut you short, without being you've not been given the prescription, you just take, you want to just feel normal.
Yes, normal.
They mix it with something.
Yeah.
And then they take it.
So take it and get
it was a church program, and before they started, the guy went outside, and he's a drummer, and he just and I saw the container of the thing, and I'm like, and this is the church. So I think just like she said, prayer, intercessory prayer. The Bible says that men ought always to pray.
Not to faint.
Yes, and prayer is the key to everything, sincerely. In as much as you can talk to people to convict them. Praying also, because very quickly, a testimony. I have a father in God who yesterday posted on his WhatsApp the video of a young convert, I guess 3 months old, who was an addict smoker. But if you see the young man,
when they start
if you see the young
taking
man,
such things, to leave it is another.
It's very hard. Yes, you could see the young man praying. I saw him praying, and so you could know that the power of God had already taken over such person. So, and then for me, I know so well that if the power of God comes upon a man, it does not matter whatever you do, except the power didn't touch you. If it touches you, it will leave you. So the church should do more. As much as this initiative is coming into play, yes, the church should do more of praying in-depthly, seeking the face of God to release His power more on the young people. And for me, most of the times, I think this boils down to still young people. Because when I was reading online, I saw that more of the people who abuse the drugs are less than 30, people who are less 30 and less.
We need to catch them young.
Yes, catch them very young. Yes, so there should be more of church activities for. See, if the more you engage people in the church, the lesser you get them outside.
They won't have the time to go into all those
so
things.
that thing you think they want to go and do outside, get a way of bringing them into the church. But let there be a line, draw a line, to know the difference between being in the church and being outside. So the more they enjoy being in the presence of God, they're able to, their face is away from, their attention is away from, the things of the world. So the church should, with this is very beautiful. So beyond, I think I attended one of the programs, that Akadi was invited to. So beyond this initiative for the Church of Nigeria, I think other churches should be able to embrace this. This is a very beautiful initiative to say that, yes, reaching down.
On that, I want to say there is already an initiative that is going on. Churches are coming together with Christian ministries, especially those who are into children and youth ministries. And there is a meeting somewhere in the Southeast next month where this issue will be discussed, and we're going to be looking at the response of the church to drug abuse. Okay, Ma, your final word, please. Your advice to the general public on the effect of drug abuse in the society. I want to appeal to the society, in all its ramifications, starting from the home. We must stop this menace. As parents, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. As parents, we must speak up. We must train our children. Even when they are teenagers, when they are youths, we must keep speaking, giving them information, and even to the wider society. Thank God for what NDLEA and other partners are doing. Let us do more. Drug abuse amounts to nothing. It spoils the health, the mental health, the physical health, the social well-being. It destroys every aspect of our entirety. So let us say no to drug abuse. Thank you, Ma. In 10 seconds, your last word.
Drug abuse is not a good thing to both the health and mental being, and like Shia said, and all of that. So I just indulge the youth that know who your friend is, know where you go to, know who you follow, and it's like she said, parents, mother, please know what you're telling your children. Very importantly, because there are some things my mother told me that I don't care whatever you tell me, I can never do drug. So mothers, please, very importantly, tell your children the right thing to do, and I'm sure God will help us.
Okay, so the ball now is all in our courts. We need to do something. It's not just left to the society the parents, the uncles, we have our friends too. We need to brace up and take up this challenge because it's becoming a menace in the society. Ma, I want to thank you for gracing our invite today. We appreciate your coming.
Thank you very much.
We hope when we call on you next, you will oblige us.
I will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Aregbe, thank you for honoring our invite.
Thank you for always having me.
Thank you very much. And a big thank you to our phenomenal crew and to our viewers. You are amazing. Thank you for allowing us a bit of your morning. It's pre-election year. Do you have your voter's card? If not, please go get it. Your vote counts. Get informed on how the electoral process works. The decision process is our collective responsibility. Now more than ever, we need to speak up against wrong. If you see something, say something to the appropriate authorities. Most importantly, do not forget that God is our ultimate protector and we should all put our trust in Him alone. Do have a productive day. I am Rachel Ebunu. Bye for now.